as we go. We are live now on YouTube. Guys, I'm going to welcome everyone. We're going to do a little bit of a 60-second countdown just so that I can make sure that everything is going exactly how it's supposed to. Give me 1 second to get the counter up. You guys should be seeing that now. We are live now.
Did you just switch tabs?
Yeah, I'm not sure about if the live part on YouTube, I had some background noise. Let me see. Welcome everyone. So let's talk about it. Super excited about our show on today. Make sure you guys are seeing a little countdown. We're going live here in welcome everyone. Hopefully you're seeing this live on YouTube. 1 second. All right. Guys, I'm super excited about today's show. Really excited. First of all, we're doing something new. We're not broadcasting on Facebook today. We are broadcasting live here on YouTube. So maybe a little bit of a technical hiccup because I'm not used to this particular platform. And the fact that I'm a little nervous here because I have one of the podcast masters going to be sharing some secrets with you guys today. One of my mentors when it comes to really getting your stuff up online. And he's just very, very knowledgeable. And I'm so excited that he agreed to spend just a little bit of time with us here on today. I want to introduce to some and present to others Mr. Patric Peter of Patric Peters Productions. Sir, are you out there?
Yes, I am. Stop
sharing my screen so everybody can see you now. There he is, the man, the myth, the legend. Thank you so much, Patric, for joining us on this evening. You know what? Somebody just asked me for the link. Let me make sure that they have the link because everybody wants to hear from you. While I'm getting that out to a couple of people, why don't you share a little bit about your background, some of the people that you've helped, really, and how this all started for you. Could you share a little bit there?
Yes, Marshanda. First, I wanted to thank you for the warm and wonderful introduction. It's always a pleasure chatting with you and helping you through your tech journey. As far as your question, my background, I started I've been a geek my whole life, basically. You know, my father owns a professional photography and video production company. Growing up as a kid, we had a photography studio that was owned by the family, you know, back when there was like film cameras, none of this digital stuff now. But that's how I started. I started in my family business. And then I went to school. And when I graduated, when I got out of the Army, I started working for Apple on Fifth Avenue in New York City. And also another company called TechServe that was there for many, many years. And it shut down like once Amazon got popular, you know. But in 2011, I started doing the Tony Robbins circuit, which is when you and I met back in LA in November. And I connected with a lot of people who wanted to know how to do marketing and how to put their business online. And they started just, chatting with me. And through my expertise about digital and photo production and through my degree of writing in college, I was able to help them put their websites online. And then when podcasts got popular, I started to help them produce, record, and publish their podcasts, which is what brings us to the present moment here, where you are kindly inviting me to edify your audience.
Well, awesome. So let's talk about it. And you're being a little shy here, sir. Let's talk about some of the big names that you work with and help take just what was in their head and made it like huge. I know some of the big names, but and I know you don't like the names.
You can go ahead and
let's talk about it.
So you can go ahead and name drop because I feel shy. I am so blessed to have great mentors like Russell Brunson and Frank Kern. And I'm not talking like just their online courses, like one-on-one mentorship, face to face with those boys. And then I've been blessed to help Lawrence Locum Lahab launch her podcast, which was called Stay True back then, way before COVID. I also help her name is Cara Baval, and she's a lawyer, but her brand is the Laptop Lawyer Lifestyle, Laptop Lifestyle Lawyer. It's a tongue twister, triple L, we call it for short when we're working in the background. And she also launched her successful podcast. And I wanted to actually give her a shout out because before she got all the fancy stuff and all the technology, she was so smart. Everybody has one of these, right? We all have one phone. She started recording 5 minutes on her car as she was commuting, and then she went up to 10 minutes, and now she has a full-fledged produced, a script and beautiful podcast on Apple Podcasts.
Nice. And I think you worked a little bit with Marina and Eric Worre.
Oh my goodness, they are dear friends, and I did a lot of their production, their live events, for 10 years actually here in Vegas. So yes, how could I forget?
Yeah, right. So guys, we're not bringing you just anybody. We're bringing you the best of the best, the creme de la creme. So let's get into it. Because when I started telling you, hey, I'm doing this live challenge, and you said, well, Marshanda, you can turn that into a podcast. And I'm like, what? What are you talking about? I can turn it into a podcast. And then you start telling me some ideas. I said, you have to share this with my audience, because there's many people out there that would like to do a podcast. Like one of my really good friends, she owns a hair salon, a real successful hair salon out in San Diego. When I told her I was going to be talking to you about podcasts, she said, I want to know that. I want to do that. So there's many people in different arenas, not just us. I'm all about in the network marketing and entrepreneur realm, but there's a lot of other people in different professions that also want to know how they can get their voice out there. So can you share a little bit about, some secrets to how to start if a person was just saying, I'm brand new, what do I need to do?
Yes. So before we even get into the techie part, because that's the least of your worries, there are so many applications that can help you automate and do things. You don't need to know any technical skills at all if you don't want to, right? So don't let technical be an excuse. Okay. That's the first thing. Let's talk more about your messaging, right? And let's use your hair salon owner friend as an example. It's perfect because she's been a professional in the arena for so long that she has intrinsic knowledge that to her may seem like nothing, but to the audience out there who actually needs her expertise and her advice, it's a huge lifesaver, and life changer. She can talk about different types of hair, if it's coarse hair versus fine hair, if it's like African-American hair versus Caucasian hair versus Asian hair, completely different stuff, like how to take care of yourself, because self-image, your own worth comes from how you feel when you're in your own body. And she can help so many people just by sharing her knowledge. She doesn't have to be fancy or worry about scripting. She can just share what she knows. And as she does that naturally, her audience is going to grow, and she's going to find her own niche, and she's going to grow, right? And she's going to impact a lot of people's lives. The thing is, we need to change our mentality from being consumers, right? Just being online, like scrolling and like entertaining ourselves, to being more of producers, to sharing, right? We all have a message. And the thing is, to find our voice, we need to practice. And you shouldn't practice in the dark. You need to turn on that record button and practice live every day, like you're doing with your 30-day challenge. I love that you do that. Every now and then you call me, Patrick, I'm doing another sprint. I'm going to go live no matter what. It's not going to be scripted. I'm just going to do it. And you're committed, and you go out there and you help so many people because of that. So that's the first thing, is like, please know, whoever's listening, that you have a specific message that, I don't know what you believe in, I call it God, but the universe, spirit, whatever moves you, right? Put inside your heart so that you can help all of us grow, right? We're all in this world together to elevate each other. So that's the first thing. Even if you think you have nothing to talk about, you do. And if you need help with that, there are so many books. My mentor, Russell, that I mentioned earlier, has his second book was called The Voice Secret. You can go ahead and buy it, and it's like $9. He'll ship it to you for free. And if you don't like that, you could just go to Barnes & Nobles, whatever, Amazon, whatever you buy books, and you can get messages on how to speak and how to structure your message. But it's very, very simple, guys. You open up by telling people, what are you going to talk to them about? It's like a 3 arcs, structure. You always open up with, hey, here we are. This is what we're going to discuss. And then you actually tell them the thing. And then at the end, you say, hey, this is what we discussed. And you recap, because people always remember the beginning and the end. They're very riveted in the middle. They're paying attention and they're like with you. But when they walk away, they always remember the very first thing you said and the very last thing you said. So with that simple 3 arc structure, you can do a 5-minute, 10-minute, half an hour, or even an hour show just by flushing out that top part, middle part, end part. Yeah?
Yeah.
Cool. The other thing to have in mind is at the end, you always want to have a call to action. It doesn't have to be big. It could just be as simple as, hey guys, help me spread the message by clicking the share button. It could be as simple as, remember to tune in next week because we have this really cool guest coming in that's going to teach you about X, right? It doesn't have to be that you have a full-fledged funnel and a selling product or any of that stuff. To start, keep it simple. And as you go, you can develop your e-commerce website with all your merchandise, or your one cool webinar funnel where you're going to teach them in depth. Whatever it may be, that can come with time. But just remember, at the very beginning, have a very clear objective, walk them through it as much as you have to, and then at the end, give them a very friendly call to action to come back and keep spreading the message.
Nice. Like that structure. Guys, I don't think I was doing that. I got you guys to come back today. Hey. Awesome. So what are some of the tools you were sharing with me that I could be on, use this one cool tool that could get me on all these different platforms? Why don't you share some of that? Like yeah, let's get into some of the techie stuff now.
Yeah, perfect. So once you have your recording, right, whatever device you recorded on.
You guys heard how he said perfect on the techie. He's the techie.
That's my jam, okay, guys? Seriously, I can geek out forever on tech. So way back in the days, I used to use a cool platform called Buzzsprout.com. They're amazing for podcasting. They were a subscription, so they still are a subscription model. Depending on how much you were publishing and for how long your episodes were, you had to pay different tier subscriptions. But then towards the end of 2019, right before COVID hit, we were at NAC in New York City. So that stands for National Achievers Congress, right? And I was doing DJ production for that event, getting the crowd pumped. And Gary Vee was one of our main guys on stage, right? Our friend Gary. And he comes and says, guys, there's 2 things I want to share with you. First, be on TikTok. He went on and on about why you had to be on TikTok, right? And the second thing he said is like, guys, you need to be on Anchor FM. Anchor, like the anchor on a boat, right? And FM, like the radio. So Anchor.fm is on Android platform if you have an Android-based mobile, and it's on iOS platform on the App Store if you're on an iPhone or an iPad, and it's also on the web browser just by simply going to Anchor.fm, right? And on that website, you don't need to download anything. You can sign in very easily with your email and your own password, or you can sign in with your existing Google account or your existing Apple account. It's that easy, guys, to just get on it, okay? And then once you're on it, it actually guides you through like step by step how to set up and record your first podcast right on the platform. So you can either upload your existing recording, whether it's audio or video, and you can also upload, just record right on it. The cool thing about it is that it walks you through all the steps, and it talks to you about when you're thinking about your podcast, think about a radio show. I don't know how old you are. It does not matter. But those of us who have a little bit of time on earth, remember before the internet, how there were actual radio shows, and we were in the car listening to DJ spinning and having guests interviewed. And every now and then there'd be a jingle for an ad promoting a service or a product, like from the local town. And so Anchor FM teaches you to think about your show in segments, right? Your first guest, your second guest, your pause in between, the refreshment segment, the let's introduce our sponsors segment, right? And you don't have to have all of that. You could just talk about a topic like we're doing here today, but you could grow it and you can start learning right within the platform. The other thing is they allow you to monetize. So you could turn on a little button, a little switch where they will monetize it for you and bring advertisers into your podcast, or where you can add a specific sponsor that you already made a pre-existing deal with, to put it into your show. I cannot go on enough about how awesome Anchor FM is. That's on the recording and producing side. Then after you record it, right, and you polish your audio, you can edit right in there, cut and splice. It allows you to add description in depth. So you can have a whole transcript of your show, and you don't need to sit there and type it out. There are tools that allow you to go ahead and upload your video or audio file, and it will spit out an entire Word, document with your transcript, time coded and everything. Okay. So you can have on your description an entire transcript. And why is this important if you choose to do it? Because there are so many people out there who may have a hearing impediment, and they have special software in their devices and their computers that actually will read out for them whatever the transcription is, so they don't have to miss out on your show. Okay. Also, some of us who can be easily distracted, when we have words in front of us, we can follow along even more in depth, right, and captivate our attention. If you don't want to have a transcript, it allows you to type out a very cool description of who's your guest, what are you going to discuss in this show, this one episode, and what the outcome of the episode is, for the audience. Like, if you watch today's episode, this is what you're going to get out of it. And so that captures the people who, again, are scrolling and may go past it if they don't have a description, versus if you grab them with, hey, this is what the show is about, and this is what you're going to get from it, that they're more inclined to actually click and watch or listen.
Awesome. Oh my goodness. Anchor FM, everybody, write that down in your notes. How do people grow their audience? What are some tips for helping people grow their audience? Because sometimes people say, yeah, I have this cool, let's say they're a cook and they have these cool recipes and they want to talk about that, but they don't know how to grow it outside of, hey, my family knows I'm a good cook. What advice would you give for people for that?
So it's a couple of things. It's about distribution, number one, right? You want to be on all the platforms that already have the traffic for your specific niche, right? That's a great question, Marshanda. Thank you for asking it. And it's also about that call to action. One more time, you need to let your fan base, whether it's just your family or your cousin in Texas who really loves you and wants to help you out, you need to call them to help you grow your movement, to help you grow your audience by saying, hey guys, you know how you can really help? Click that like button, hit subscribe, and share, because you never know who's out there listening and who could really use this content that we're all about here, right? So having said that, let's go back to Anchor. Once you record it, produce, polish, edit it, right? Have your description, have your transcript, have all your titles in SEO. SEO stands for search optimization, for the search engines. It just means having the right keywords that relate to your content, so people who are looking for your stuff can find you, right? So we're going back to growing the audience. Then they have the publish. The publish button on Anchor allows you to push your one episode to Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio. We call those the big four, huh? And with one click of a button, you can be published on all of those. For iHeartRadio, you might have to actually submit manually the first time just to get approved. But once you're on their accepted list, then next time you click publish every time, you're just going to be automatically on there. On top of the big four, Google Podcasts, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and iHeartRadio, it allows you to go to all these other little niche podcast listening platforms they have a lot of traffic, because people who are into these obscure little niches, and by obscure, I just mean not mainstream, right? Like not like gaming, computing, entertainment, beauty, fashion, and how to make money. Those are like the big ones, right? Health is the other really big one. But no matter what your topic is, there's an audience out there for you already congregating on a platform who loves to listen to podcasts. And another segment that loves to specifically watch the podcast. So whatever you do yourself a favor, record yourself on video as well. I know some people are camera shy, but do yourself a favor and record on video as well, and then publish that recording onto YouTube, right? So that you'll be in all the places where there's already traffic looking for content on a specific topic, could be yours, right? And that's how you grow.
Wow. Go ahead. Did you have something else you wanted to say?
Yes, the caveat. That's how you grow organically without paid traffic, because there's another way to grow faster when you have a little budget and you actually do paid traffic, which we can talk about it later. Go ahead.
No, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And I know my audience is as well. Such good content tonight. Now, we love to keep our show here within 20 minutes or so, but you've given us so much. I want to let you, like, we're going to have to bring you back. I mean, this is no question about it.
Happy to.
We have to bring you back because everything that you talked about could be one show in and of itself, right?
Correct.
And especially when we talk about, we really want to get into driving traffic. And I love what you said, really starting with the mindset of not just being a consumer, but now we're the producers, right? We're the creators. We create that content. That's a whole show in of itself, right? Creating the right mindset, which of course everybody here knows I'm really big on the mindset to do this. I mean, for me, I do not like being on video. Everybody knows it. Ever on any Zoom with me, I always have my camera off. But this was to push myself outside of my comfort zone. You can't ask a person to do what you're not willing to do. That's you right. Have to go first and do it. So I want to say, I just love everything that you said tonight. Patric, you're just so knowledgeable. And I'm just so excited for my guests to really get an opportunity to meet you, to really have an opportunity to use some of your, get some of your services. And would love to hear where they can connect with you. If this is something you don't want to do on your own, Patric Peters Production, they do offer a service where they will do this podcast for you, produce it, put it together, do everything that you need, help you to get traffic, all of that. They do that service for you. So we'll let you share with them where they can, they can hit you up here after it. But I'm going to let you in here, just if you'd like to just give some words of advice to end our episode on tonight. And then we're going to definitely bring you back here before this 30-day challenge is up so that we can get more meat on this, because there's a lot more meat on this bone here. I can see that.
Thank you, Marshanda. Yeah, absolutely. My preferred way to grow my own audience, and I just started to take it seriously. I created the account in 2009, but I started to take it seriously and not just edify others, but try to build my own brand. Because I've been so behind the scenes, like helping everybody grow their podcast, their show, their business. So I decided this time that I come out forward and actually help more people, right? So if you could contact me at iPatric, which is on Twitter. Okay, just go to my Twitter. It's open public. You don't need to follow me or anything, but you can tweet me at iPatric. And if you want to follow me, then that would be much greatly appreciated. And from there, we can take it to the next level. Just public message me at iPatric without a K. So it's IPATRIC, okay, on Twitter. And then I'd be happy to help you and to answer your questions publicly once again, because I'm trying to reach as many people. So I could answer you one-on-one and give you my email, but that only helps you. If you shout me out on my Twitter account and you put your specific question and I'll answer you, then I can reach more people and you can help me spread this beautiful message. Awesome.
Well, guys, we are so excited to have you here. Thank you so much, sir, for spending your time with us. Guys, you heard all this good stuff. First of all, getting your mindset together that you are a creator. You can create. You're a producer. You're not just a consumer, right? I'm just this is so full and chopped. And then getting down, if you don't get anything else out of this, get to that Anchor FM, right?
Correct.
And really getting yourself out there and starting. You have he gave us a 3-prong of how, what to start with, letting people know what you're doing, a little bit of meat, and then a recap, right? So he gave us that today, those tools today. If you can do that, you can get started, and then just get started. And I heard something that was really cool about what you just said. Also about there's so many audiences out there. We learned what the big 4 were today, right? Having getting yourself on those big 4, but then there's also niche audiences out there and getting yourself on those, and not just like you're talking, because some people, and I noticed this, some people don't even have the audio on, they're watching video. So if you have that word, that caption going across, you can catch them more because people like to read, right? So I thought that was a big tip and tool that I got out of today. I mean, this was so full of nuggets And I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please, and now I never even say this at the end of mine, but now I learned this today, so I'm going to say this. Please subscribe to my channel here and share it, right? And share it. And again, I really appreciate you so much, Patric. Thank you so much for being on. We're going to get you back on again, probably a couple times before the end of this, because you have so much to share. We really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so very much. And I want to let you guys know about what's coming up on tomorrow. We're going to do a good recap on one of the money-making moves we talked about earlier this week. We're going to do a deeper dive into one of those tomorrow. And then on Friday, we're going to be hearing from one of my mentors who is a self-made millionaire, a woman. You guys are going to get an opportunity to hear from Ms. Lauren LaHave on Friday. She's going to be here sharing some amazing nuggets. You do not want to miss this. This is it. You do not want to miss it. This woman is phenomenal. I love her so much. And you guys are going to learn so much from her. So we'll see that on Friday. We'll be talking with her on Friday. So thanks again, Patric. Really appreciate you. We're over and out. We did it today on YouTube, something new. I hope it all worked out for everybody. And we'll get it uploaded to Facebook on tomorrow. You know, we're always one day behind on uploading that. Have a great day, everybody. Thank you so much, Patric. Bye.